Emily Carter wiped down the marble counter at the Harrington Estates annual gala. Her apron smudged from a long night of serving champagne to New York's elite. The place was buzzing with laughter, clinking glasses, and deals being whispered in corners. Richard Harrington, the billionaire tech mogul, stood at the center, his tailored suit screaming success. But off to the side, his daughter Lily sat alone on a velvet couch, her eyes scanning the room like she was invisible. Lily was deaf, born that way, after a complication at birth. Everyone knew it. Heck, it had been in the tabloids when she was a kid. But tonight, like every other event Emily had worked, the guests ignored her. They smiled politely at Richard, shook his hand, but when Lily tried to wave or sign a hello, they revert their eyes, pretending not to notice. It broke Emily's heart. She wasn't from this world. She grew up in a small Brooklyn apartment, learning sign language from her deaf cousin back in the day. Watching Lily get sidelined made her stomach twist. One socialite, Vanessa Thorne, a real estate heiress with perfect highlights, even bumped into Lily's chair without an apology. "Oh, excuse me," Vanessa muttered to the air, not even glancing down. Lily's face flushed, her hands fidgeting in her lap. Emily caught her eye and offered a small smile, but duty called. More trays to carry. As the night wore on, Richard was deep in conversation with investors, boasting about his latest app that was revolutionizing communication. Ironic, Emily thought, considering his own daughter couldn't get a word in edgewise. She overheard a group of executives chuckling. "Poor kid, but what can you do?" Not like she can contribute to the business. Emily's blood boiled. She wasn't one to rock the boat, but something snapped. During a lull, Emily set down her tray and walked over to Lily. The girl looked up surprised, her blue eyes wide. Emily signed slowly. "Hi, I'm Emily. This party sucks, huh?" Lily's face lit up like the 4th of July. She signed back furiously. "You know ASL. Nobody here does. They all act like I'm not even real." They chatted or signed for a bit. Lily opening up about how her dad's world left her out. Emily felt a connection, like finding a friend in a storm, but as Vanessa sauntered by again, ignoring them both, Emily whispered to herself, "This has to change." Little did she know, this simple act would unravel secrets and spark a revenge that nobody saw coming. Emily couldn't shake the image of Lily's grateful smile from her mind as she clocked out that night. The gala had wrapped up with fireworks over the Hudson. But for her, the real spark was that conversation. The next day, she got a text from an unknown number. "It's Lily. Dad gave me your contact from the staff list. Want to hang out? Nobody else gets it." Emily grinned at her phone in her tiny Queens apartment. "Absolutely," she replied. They met at a quiet cafe in Manhattan, away from the glitz. Lily arrived in a simple hoodie, her dad nowhere in sight, probably buried in meetings. Emily ordered lattes, and they dove right in. Signing across the table, Lily spilled her guts. "Everyone at those parties thinks I'm just a prop. Dad loves me, but he's always working. The staff, the guests, they ignore me because it's easier. Like, why bother learning sign when you can pretend I don't exist?" Emily nodded, her hands moving fluidly. "That's crap. You're smart as hell. What do you like to do?" Turns out, Lily was a whiz at coding, just like her dad, but nobody gave her a shot. She'd built apps in her room, stuff that could help deaf folks communicate better, but Richard dismissed it as a hobby. "He says the company's too big for experiments." Lily signed, her expression darkening. As they talked, Emily shared her own story. Growing up poor, waitressing to pay for community college, dreaming of something more. I get being overlooked, she signed. But you? With all that money, it's ridiculous. Lily laughed, a silent burst that made Emily's day. But then Lily mentioned Vanessa and the others. Vanessa's the worst. She's Dad's business partner, whatever that means. She flirts with him, ignores me, and I overheard her saying I should be in a special school so I don't embarrass the family. Emily's jaw dropped. Revenge flickered in her mind. We can't let that slide. By the end of the afternoon, they were plotting harmless fun at first. Maybe crash a party with signs demanding attention. But as Lily revealed more, like how Vanessa had sabotaged a charity event for deaf kids to redirect funds, Emily's anger grew. She's using your dad, Emily signed. Lily's eyes teared up. I know, but how do I prove it? Emily promised to help. Walking home, she felt empowered. This wasn't just friendship. It was a chance to flip the script. Little revenge seeds were planting, and soon they'd bloom into something epic. Weeks turned into months, and Emily and Lily became inseparable. They'd meet in Central Park, fingers flying in conversation while joggers rushed by. Lily taught Emily advanced science, and Emily showed her the real New York, street food, subway rides, places where money didn't matter. Richard noticed the change in his daughter. She was happier, more confident. He even invited Emily to dinner at the estate, calling her a good influence. Over steak and wine, Richard beamed. Lily's been raving about you. Thanks for being her friend. Emily smiled politely, but inside, she was piecing together the puzzle. Lily had confided that Vanessa was pushing Richard to invest in shady deals, ones that cut corners on accessibility tech. Ironic for a company built on communication. She's embezzling, I think, Lily had signed one day. I saw emails on Dad's computer. Emily dug deeper on her own time, using public records and a bit of online sleuthing. Vanessa Thorne wasn't just a flirt. She had a history of fraud buried under settlements. But proving it? That needed insider access. Lily provided it, sneaking Emily into the home office during a weekend when Richard was away. They pored over files, Lily's tech skills shining as she hacked into encrypted folders. Ethically, she insisted. What they found was gold. Vanessa had diverted millions from Harrington Tech's charity arm, meant for deaf education, into her personal accounts. Emails showed her mocking Lily. The mute kid won't notice. Richard's too busy to care. Emily's fist clenched. This is revenge material. Lily nodded, tears streaming. I want her gone, but not just fired, exposed. They brainstormed a plan. Used Lily's coding prowess to create an app that would anonymously leak the evidence at the next big company event. Emily would handle the social side, rallying ignored staff who'd seen Vanessa's cruelty. As they bonded, emotional layers peeled back. Lily admitted feeling worthless, like a burden. Dad's world is hearing only. I hate it. Emily hugged her. You're not a burden. You're a badass. We'll show them. For Emily, it stirred old wounds. Her own family, ignoring her dreams, pushing her into dead-end jobs. This was cathartic. The plan solidified. At the upcoming investor gala, they'd strike. Vanessa would be there, schmoozing. But this time, Lily wouldn't be invisible. Emily felt the thrill of impending justice. Revenge wasn't just sweet, it was necessary. and with their friendship as the foundation, nothing could stop them. The night of the investor gala arrived. The Harrington estate transformed into a glittering fortress of wealth. Emily was back in her waitress uniform, but this time, it was a disguise. Lily, dressed in a stunning gown, lingered near the edges, her tablet hidden in her purse. The plan was set. During Richard's keynote, Lily's app would broadcast the evidence on every screen. Emails, bank transfers, Vanessa's cruel messages about the Dave burden. Guests mingled, ignoring Lily as usual. Vanessa floated through the crowd, arm linked with Richard, laughing too loudly at his jokes. Emily served drinks, eavesdropping. "Darling, that new venture?" "It's gold," Vanessa purred. Richard nodded, oblivious. Emily signed to Lily from across the room. "Ready?" Lily's hands trembled, but signed back. "Let's do this." As the lights dimmed for the speech, Lily activated the app. Suddenly, the massive projector screens flickered. Instead of Richard's slides, Vanessa's emails popped up, highlighted in red. Gasps rippled through the room. "What's this?" Richard muttered, staring at proof of embezzlement. Millions siphoned, including from the deaf charity. One message read, "Lily's just window dressing. Cut the funding, she won't complain." The crowd murmured, phones out recording. Vanessa's face drained of color. "This is a hack." "Richard, it's fake." But the evidence was ironclad, timestamps and all. Richard turned to her, betrayal in his eyes. "You did this? To my company? To my daughter?" Emily stepped forward, shedding her apron. "It's real, Mr. Harrington." Lily found it. "She's the genius here." Lily signed rapidly, Emily interpreting aloud. "Vanessa ignored me, stole from us. But I see everything." The room fell silent as Lily continued, her signs projected via the app for all to understand. A feature she'd built herself. Investors pulled out phones, calling lawyers. Vanessa tried to bolt, but security blocked her. "You little brat," she hissed at Lily. "You think you can ruin me?" Lily signed back coolly. "I just did." The emotional peak hit when Richard hugged Lily, tears in his eyes. "I'm sorry, kiddo. I should have listened." Lily signed, "Start now." Emily watched, heart swelling. Revenge wasn't just exposing Vanessa. It was empowering Lily. As police arrived, tipped off anonymously, Vanessa was led out in cuffs, her empire crumbling. Whispers turned to applause for Lily. Emily felt vindicated, her own overlooked life mirrored in this win. But the real revenge, the bond that bloomed from ignorance's ashes. In the aftermath, Harrington Tech changed overnight. Richard, humbled by the scandal, appointed Lily as head of a new accessibility division. Her app, now public, revolutionized communication for the deaf community, raking in awards and partnerships. Vanessa faced charges, embezzlement, fraud, and her social circle shunned her, her name synonymous with betrayal. Tabloids dubbed it the silent strike, with Lily as the hero. Emily quit waitressing, joining Lily's team as a liaison. They traveled together, speaking and signing at conferences about inclusion. "We turned ignoring into empowering," Emily would say, her American grit shining through. Lily's confidence soared, no more sitting in corners. Richard made amends, learning ASL himself, family dinners now filled with signed stories and laughter. But the emotional core lingered. One evening, over pizza, in Emily's apartment, Lily signed, "You saw me when nobody else did. That saved me." Emily teared up. "You saved me too. I was stuck feeling invisible myself." Their friendship, born from a simple sign, became a beacon. Revenge had been the spark, but healing was the fire. Years later, at Lily's wedding, to a deaf artist she'd met through the app, Emily gave a toast. In a world that ignores, one act of kindness can rewrite everything. Guests applauded, many signing along. Vanessa, rotting in obscurity, her attempts at comebacks squashed by the evidence that lingered online. The story spread, inspiring others. Emily wrote a book, Signs of Revenge, detailing their journey. It hit bestseller lists, proving that emotional truths trump wealth. Richard funded scholarships for deaf kids, naming one after Emily. Looking back, Emily realized revenge wasn't about destruction. It was reclamation. Lily reclaimed her voice. Emily, her purpose. In America's hustle, where the overlooked fight back, their tale reminded everyone. Ignore at your peril. Kindness wins, but paired with justice, unstoppable. As they watched fireworks from the estate, echoing that first gala, Lily signed, "We did it." Emily nodded. Damn right. The end wasn't just happy, it was earned, raw, and real. Thank you so much for watching this story till the end. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe even learned something from it. If you'd like to hear more stories like this, full of life lessons, drama, and emotions, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss an update. Your support means the world, and it helps me keep bringing you more inspiring and unforgettable stories. Stay tuned because more amazing stories are on the way.